Pyra and Mythra. We had the direct, or well, I don't even know what it's called. It's just like a deep dive presentation
Mr.
from
Sakurai Presents.
Beautiful. That's actually awesome. Mr. Sakurai Presents. So we had the Smash director Masahiro Sakurai present deep dive into, and it was definitely a deep dive into Pyra and Mythra. There was a lot of questions outstanding for this character. So this is the fourth character in Fighter Pass 2. Only 2 remaining. And even in the language that they're using in these presentations, it really does seem like they're not going to do a Fighter Pass 3. I know that that's what they confirmed last time. When they announced Fighter Pass 2, they're only going to do 1 extra. But man, it's such a cash cow for Nintendo.
We've said it before. I'm okay if they don't do any more Fighter Passes as long as they start thinking about new costume DLC for the characters.
Oh yeah,
that's what I want, because I've already got so many mains. But if you give me cool new costumes for those mains, I'll be all over it.
Man, I must admit, I'm shocked at how many of the Mii Fighter costumes I've bought. Like, part of it is almost just a meme to play against you. Like, we're like, and I'll use it once. Like, that was a good $1 spent right there. But yeah. So the presentation was very, very deep, and I think offline, Swinny and I had a chat about, when do you think the character will get released? And I think I was very adamant. They're going to pull a Nintendo move and make it right at the end of the month, and you just never get to see that coming.
Keep the whole conversation offline.
And then we find out that today it's already released. So have you played it, Swinny?
Yeah, well, that's the idea of this segment. So, wait, so you're telling me you haven't played as them yet?
Dude, I haven't had a chance. I've been flat out.
I knew I had to cover it, so don't worry, I've played as them.
Well, I think if we were going to record this on Sunday, I would have definitely played it, but...
No, well, they came out today.
I didn't get to watch it until a few hours ago. I've been so flat out. It's been crazy.
Yeah, so look, I haven't had a good amount of time with them because I've just essentially spent about maybe 20 minutes in training and then a few matches against CPU because it's that literally just dropped today. And so basically, as expected, you got 2 characters. You can swap between them at any time, just like the old Zelda Sheik and Pokemon Trainer.
Well, it's more the Zelda Sheik. It is the Zelda Sheik, but the concept's the same.
Sure. So as Sakurai went deep into as well, that Pyra is the slower power character, and Mythra is the quicker one with higher jump height. And when we're saying quicker, like the run speed on the ground, I don't know if it's quite double, but it's very visible.
That's the word that I was going to use. Double. Is it double? Maybe it's
crazy.
And the jump is the craziest, I think.
Yeah, and they both share similar normal attacks. But there's a considerable difference in that damage speed trade-off. So we're talking like the jab attacks, Mythra will just be able to get them out really quickly, but they're just doing almost like half of what Pyra's attacks will do.
Yeah, ballpark.
And playing them, it's weird. So I generally tend to play, like I used to be a Marth player back in Melee, so I was a very fast character, but nothing like Fox or anything. But recently, like I've been playing as Byleth, these pretty slow power characters. And yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about the characters just yet. They're obviously a very good character. Like when I say character, they're 2 characters, but they're the same character, if that makes sense. It is a very good character to the point where, like, I think that, just having the options that you've got, being able to swap between them, because you can swap between them in the air during recovery.
Whoa, okay.
You can like do a down tilt, launch them up in the air, swap to another character, and then do another up air with the other character. It's pretty wild the stuff you can do. Like I could see this character being like pretty up there in the character tiers if they're when people get really good. But it's like any new character. Oh, really
though? Because like all the top tier people, they don't have slow characters.
Well, that's the thing, is that's why, like when I was watching someone like Hungrybox, for instance, that they're playing around, and obviously it's day one, right?
Yeah.
But the ability to use Mythra to just to run around and do a lot of the movement stuff, and then use Pyra to do essentially finish the characters off at low percent is just like there's very few characters in Smash where you have that balance. Pokemon Trainer is one of them. but then Pokemon Trainer's got that's the reason why Pokemon Trainer's considered a pretty damn good character in the game when you master them. They're just hard to master.
Hey, just to go back to your points, Winnie, about Pyra and Mythra, they're the same character. It actually triggered something for me. It was, are they actually considered, from like a canon and chronology perspective, the same fighter or separate fighters? And they're considered separate fighters. So 79 and 80.
Yeah, it's weird, but then I think they do that with the Pokemon.
Yeah, they definitely do. But
well,
that makes sense though, because Charizard was its standalone character in Smash Brothers 4, like Smash 4.
But I mean, before that in Brawl, it wasn't.
Is it the evolution of Pikachu?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. But I think since they split it, you kind of
evolution of Pikachu, Charizard. Mike, we said last week that somehow I'm the Pokemon expert over you. I think that just proves it. Even though I'm by no means Pokemon expert.
Yeah, because just going to the characters, I don't know why, but I was kind of shocked that the characters are so similar. Like, I know there's the speed and the power, but I didn't think that that's how they'd play it. I, for whatever reason, thought the movesets would be quite unique between the characters.
Well, the specials are quite different.
That's true.
So
I mean, they're kind of like the same vibe, sort of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, the spacing, the mechanics are quite different.
That's true.
Like,
that's
they're both sword
Both
fighters,
ended with
so they're both going to have kind of a play around that.
Why?
But yeah, like for instance, like the recovery, the up B of Pyra is just it's crap as a recovery move from what I've seen, but like from a power standpoint, is ridiculous. It's kind of like Ike or
well, it reminds me of Crom. Yeah. If you get the wrong direction, you're screwed.
Yeah, but I think it's for some reason it doesn't feel as easy to SD from what I've played. But hey, it's early days. I haven't played a real match against real people.
Self-destruct SD.
Yeah.
And also, by the way,
I was the master then when I played.
Swinny's put like thousands of hours into Smash as a series. So, I mean, you not self-destructing is probably not that shocking.
Well, but the first few times you play as Crom, you do, So
yeah, I always do, because I love that move.
But considerable difference in the unique special moves, and Mythra's dodge doubles as a slow-mo counter, kind of like Bayonetta's back with him as well. The stage is, I haven't played it on it yet, so I can only go off what Mr. Sakurai presented, but it's the Cloud Sea of Alrest, and I think we said when we talked about this last time, I do not know anything about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or anything, so this is all based on what I've heard from this. But
it's right from the start, like that character and stage.
Okay, good. Like so it's kind of not going to spoil anything for you if you,
well, I mean, on that, it was quite interesting that they actually blurred out Mike. So they censored some parts of Mr. Sakurai Presents, because it's like spoilers for Xenoblade Chronicles, and they actually have been criticized in the past for having certain things in the sort of presentation, because it's kind of like, oh, here's the final form. They do, like, I don't want to ruin it too much, but there's a big thing that happens in Fire Emblem Three Houses, the latest Fire Emblem game, and they basically just completely ruined it in Smash Brothers when they introduced Byleth. And I'm like, a lot of people were like, should they be saying about that? I mean, like.
Just to quickly interject, I downloaded Destiny 2 for Series X, and it's exactly that thing. It put me into this part of the game that obviously must have been in the last DLC or something, where it spoiled this major part of the story.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what? When the hell did that happen? Now I had to restart the whole character from scratch just to see what the heck happened to get to that point.
Yeah, I'm still sore over getting that achievement. Anyway,
now you have to play it.
And it's an RPG, isn't it? So you have to play it.
So alongside this deep dive, Sakurai also announced the 4 new Mii fighter costumes.
Oh, and it also then is, meant that certain fighters won't be in it now. Like, including one that I thought would happen.
Won't be in the costume or in the game?
Well, no, let me explain, and I was going to explain this. So...
No, but I just want to set it up. Because, there's only 2 left now, and it's like, I was pretty confident about one of them getting in.
Yeah, one of the heavily, I guess, requested and, likely characters at the time to make it
the Predator.
The Predator would be Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Just,
a hunter or something.
Just kind of the Predator, actually. Okay.
So like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, where they had kind of like a generic Monster Hunter that, was representative of all the games. So that's pretty much been deconfirmed because the
this
fighter
game.
costumes were like a hunter armor and helm and Rathalos armor and helm from Monster Hunter, as well as like a pelican or feline hat as well. And they also
Whoa, wait. A hat made out of a cat. They killed a cat, skinned it, and...
well, if you watch the presentation, you know what it looked like, Mike.
Oh, nasty.
I have a cat.
So
It triggers me thinking about that.
And the fourth one was Arthur's armor from Ghost and Goblin. So Arthur deconfirmed, although I don't think he was high up the.
That was so
lineup
cool,
there.
though. I actually like that. But the outfit, for whatever reason, doesn't trigger those nostalgic memories for me about playing Ghosts and Goblins. So I was like, I'm not going to buy that one.
Yeah, but you've got issues now with the whole new Ghosts and Goblins, and you're scarred, and it's
I haven't played
screwed
it,
up
to be
your
fair.
memories and all sorts of
I
stuff.
haven't played it.
So
I might
just-
have to play it.
Just to put a wrapper on the character in general, my thoughts. Without playing real matches, it's hard to know exactly how I feel about them. Like, it wasn't immediately like, oh, this character's for me. I really love this moveset. Unlike, someone like Sephiroth. I do like the moves. I really love a lot of the aerials and neutral air and that. But I think having to manage swapping between the two is something that I have to just play with for a while and see if I like that or not. So
I must admit, I kind of thought it was your type of character, but it would just be you stick as Pyra.
Characters.
No, I mean character, because I think, like, when I was watching it, I was like, I feel like Swinny would just stick as Pyra all the way through. It doesn't matter
Pyra,
what.
yeah. The thing is, and I kind of understated it. Like, Pyra's attack power is nasty. She's so powerful.
It's insane.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You can kill someone at 20% with a
If
full
they're on the edge. Yeah.
Yeah, with a full forward smash charge,
nuts,
which is insane. So Pyra, like, is definitely kind of... It's weird, though. Like, I wouldn't, I guess, navigate towards that, but Mythra kind of reminded me of, the play style of when I used to play as Marth. So it's kind of like, it'll be interesting. I hope that we get a chance to play it properly.
Wait,
Oh,
OG,
yeah, we'll
OG
play.
Marth or 20 clones of Marth? Which one of them?
OG Marth. Melee.
Okay.
Marth.
What I would say is Pyra is like my first pick in an 8-player match, because you go Pyra at the start and there's so much power, just be knocking off people left, right, and center.
I still like Byleth for that.
But no,
The
I think it's just as powerful, right?
Anyway, that's I think that's enough smashing. Unless you've got anything to add to that. Indigo?
Well, I think the most important thing is that there were figures that were discussed in the Mr. Sakurai Presents, but it was not amiibo figures.
Oh,
Yeah, so he just said a little detail about that.
is Worth Life Living?
No, it's not.
Antigot?
That, because, just for everyone's knowledge, he's basically told by Nintendo, you are going to make a Xenoblade Chronicles character. You are going to make an ARMS character. You are going to make an X character. And I think this flex around, is it Min Min or Ninjaro for ARMS, or is it, Rex, or is it Pyra for Xenoblade Chronicles? But he doesn't have the flexibility to just go, I'm going to make some, I don't know, like Crash or something like that.
I just got to say about Sakurai, he was on form in this
Yeah.
presentation.
So
the memes that are coming out of this
Yes, I
are
know.
amazing. They are amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I wrote a note like that. I said he's so much charisma, and then I was like, I wrote this in quotes, and I'm not sure if I can deliver it right, but he was almost like cute in the presentation. I was like, this man is cute.
He's talking about
Okay.
He's talking about them, and he's like, I kind of navigate towards. I think he said Pyra as a character, and he's like, as a fighter.
As a fighter,
I navigate towards Pyra as a fighter.
As a fighter, of course.
It's like, and he's like, you can. These figures allow me to see the bottom of their feet.
Yeah, I like that line as well. It's one of the rare times where I feel like, damn, I wish I knew Japanese just to hear him say these things in his natural language and how he delivers it, because he seems like such a funny guy. Really cool. Like, another stage that they won't be able to use. This might be the most banned stage of history. The actual edges of the stage move as well. So, I mean, can you even think of a stage like that, Swinny? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the edge moves in and out?
I guess if you count Tamina Bay a bit with the turtle.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, good call. But it's pretty rare.
I remember that stage. Do they still have that?
Well, it's
Yeah,
got
but
every
they
stage.
ruined
Ultimate.
it. What
do you mean they ruined it?
Yeah, let's not get into it. We don't have the time. We've got too many big news stories.
Yeah, that's right. Too many big
All right,
stories.
let's move on to the story that should have been number one story, but Swinny runs the run sheet. Let's move on to the